Welcome everybody to Red's Ramblings. Today on the special episode, first recording of the new year, I have Mr. Duck from Russia. Mr. Duck, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello everybody. I am AngryDucky. I go in the internet by the alias AngryDucky on Twitch, on the podcast. I am actual Russian duck. Well, I identify myself as a duck, obviously.
And what do you do typically day to day, if you don't mind me asking?
Typically, I actually work in the automated testing department.
Okay.
I write tests in Python to check if the systems work.
Oh, that sounds pretty interesting. Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Duck, you're originally from Moscow, you said, correct?
Well, yeah, I'm in the town near Moscow. Technically, you would call it Moscow still. It's like suburbs, but suburbs that decided to go full city.
Okay. And
like we had
currently...
small houses with small yards around the houses, and then somebody said, how about we build a giant big house there for 100 and plus flats? And they made it several times, so it's like a city, but it's technically not Moscow, so whatever. Still, I studied in Moscow.
But now you're currently in St. Petersburg, right?
Yeah, I moved the capitals.
How long ago did you move to St. Petersburg?
I suppose it was like about 8 years or so.
Okay. All right. So you've been there for quite a while, almost a decade now. You pretty much, I would say, would it be fair to say you know a good bit about the city?
Yeah, I would say I learned quite a bit about the city. I have several friends here who keep me up to date with everything that happens in the city.
Yeah, because I tried to put aside about 2 hours to research wherever the individual I'm speaking to is from. And obviously, Russia being a pretty large country itself, that's why I asked you, like, where exactly are you from, to try and narrow it down. Because I could ask you probably something about one part of Russia you never would have known about, so try to narrow it down to more St. Petersburg stuff. And even then, I was telling my wife earlier, she's like, well, are you finding anything interesting? I was like, I'm finding everything interesting. Like, this place has... You're called, or St. Petersburg is called the cultural capital of Russia. Yeah. And other articles I looked at said cultural capital of the world. So I'm looking at this thing, and I still have them pulled up, like 4, 5 to 7 tabs of various St. Petersburg articles. And it's a lot. It is a lot to take in. So hopefully we're going to hit on a good number of those. But before we officially started, you were telling me about your New Year's traditions going on right now. Let everybody know a little bit about that, because that's going from the 1st to the 10th, correct?
Yeah, it's going from the 1st to the 10th, and it's fairly new. Like, we don't have... first things first, we don't have Christmas on 25th of December. That's Catholic tradition. We have Orthodox Christianity here, and they actually have Christmas on the 7th of January, which is weird, but we just roll with it.
Right.
I have no idea why they do that. But anyway, we just roll with it, and we have Christmas later than everybody else. We have it post-New Year. So... the first major winter holiday we have is actually New Year. New Year was no big deal back in the time where the Russia was the empire, or Tsars were alive, whatever.
Right.
When Soviet Union organized, they decided they needed some kind of crazy winter festival because they needed to top Christmas. They needed to top Christmas because Christianity was a big no-no there. They wanted everybody to believe in something else, not in the God, at least. And they decided, like, why don't we just take the New Year and celebrate it just as big as Christmas? and they decided to do that, and they actually did it. I think they started to make it a big deal around the 30s. I may be lying there through my teeth, but it was around that time. Around 30s, at least, it was organized as a holiday, and since then it was becoming more and more of a winter holiday, the main winter attraction. After Soviet Union just deteriorated, we still had pretty good New Year holidays, like 2 or 3 days after the New Year. And then we started to have 2 or 3 days around Christmas, Orthodox Christmas, of course. And I think it was about 10 years ago, maybe even more, someone smart decided, like, how about we just smack those holidays together and make one big winter holiday? And now we have about a week or so. Sometimes it's precisely a week, sometimes it's a bit more, but we have about a week of spare time near the middle of the winter.
Yeah. And what exactly goes on during that week or so?
Usually it starts very big with a bang, because everybody's blowing stuff up.
Right. Oh yeah.
Everybody's
fireworks,
having
man.
parties.
Yes.
Poor animals, poor dogs, poor cats, everything is blowing up.
Poor people who got to work in the morning. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's also true. I think the first places that open up, they usually open up around 11 a.m. That's the earliest, as I remember.
Yeah. Lucky.
And
those are lucky places.
oh, those are like local 7-Elevens who sell stuff.
Over here,
really need.
Over here,
Like
my wife had to go into work at 4 a.m. on New Year's Day. Yeah. Yeah, there's no 11 o'clock pushback on. Nope.
My condolences, really.
Yeah. You better put in earplugs and hope for the best, because you go into work.
Yeah, at least we have that sorted out. Not a lot of people have to work that time.
Yep.
Well, but usually, not this year though. Usually it's slowly places open up. People go around places, meet with friends, be festive. Sometimes it's a recently big tradition. I think it's less than 5 years ago. People started going to country houses with some of their friends, buddies, colleagues, and usually it's just drink buddies.
Yeah.
Some festivities on the nature, looking at some trees, drinking, yelling, blowing stuff up, and of course roasting meats. It's like barbecue, but in the winter.
Oh, yeah. I'm from the South here in the States, and we love our barbecue. We love barbecue. That's our thing, man. That is our thing.
Sometime I will try your barbecue. I heard so much about that.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I don't know how it is over there. We have a variety of barbecue. Like barbecue here in South Carolina is not the barbecue in North Carolina. And the barbecue in these two states is not the same as like Texas barbecue or Tennessee barbecue. It's all different. Yeah. So it depends on where you go. You might not like one barbecue, but you'll go to the next state over and you'll love their barbecue. So it all depends.
I'll have to know that and taste every barbecue ever. Because here we usually have a general idea of the thing that we could call the barbecue, I think.
Right.
We call it shashlik. It's not the Russian word at all, but that's called shashlik. It's just roasting the meat on the coals, hot coals. Yeah, that's the word. Roasting the meat on hot coals, and before that you just marinate the meat the way you like it. And everybody has their own way of preparing it, their own way of marinating the meat, and some people just do it like gods, like heaven decided to come down and bless you with this meat. And some people are like, oh, well, okay, that's just a roasted meat, fine, good.
Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures. It looks like, at least what I got up here, It's a lot of like shish kebab style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's like that, but it's different in the preparation, and
Right.
it's most importantly, it's different in the taste. So usually everybody has a go when you're in the country house with the people. If you want to do it, you just go and do it. If you want to just roast the meat,
Right.
sure, go on, do that. Or maybe, I don't know, recent addition to these parties. If you want to do a steak for everybody, just make a steak for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not?
Is there some during this New Year's week or so of festivals and whatnot? Is there like a specific dish besides that barbecue, like a winter New Year's dish that's really only comes out during this time?
I wouldn't say that there is a dish that comes out only during that time,
Mhm.
but it's usually every household has their traditions, but mostly people have various kinds of salads.
Yeah.
One salad is more important than the others in the hearts of just regular Russian families. I have no idea how to translate it to to proper English, but in Russian it's called olivier.
And it's
You
a
go
salad.
with yeah, it's kind of a salad. You go with the pickles, sausage, some kind of cheese maybe.
Okay, I got it. I got it pulled
Yeah.
up.
And usually have you dump a lot of mayonnaise in it.
Ugh.
Just yeah.
Is that big over there? Mayo?
Usually yes, it's big, and I must say I even like it sometimes.
No, I hate it, dude.
No,
So I
seriously,
got some pulled up.
it's bloody ugly, but it can be tasty.
I mean, it's colorful. You know, you got some. Is that some fruit chunks?
No,
or is that
it's
just all
only
vegetables?
vegetables. Only
Ugh.
vegetables.
Nope, that is not for me. Y'all can have that, man. Y'all can
Yeah, that's
have
absolutely
that.
disgusting. You should not have that.
Yeah, I'm not a vegetable man, or a mayo person, or a mayo.
I'm not a mayo
so-
person as well, but you can substitute mayo for the regular sour cream.
Mine's Miracle Whip. Do y'all guys have Miracle Whip over there?
I don't think so.
Oh man, you should try it. If you ever get a chance, try it. Find Miracle Whip. It's tangy, right? So it's got a tangy taste to it, whereas mayo is like more creamy and doesn't have a punch, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Miracle Whip has a slight punch to it. Very,
Oh,
I guess it's like a pickly type twang to it. You know?
that's nice.
Yeah.
We usually just use pickles.
Yeah. So if you like pickles, you'll probably like Miracle Whip, in my opinion.
Of course we do here like pickles.
Pickles
We
are
even drink
great.
pickle juice.
That's too much.
No, seriously, we do. You would not believe it, but it is considered the first and foremost remedy for hangovers.
Yep, I have heard that actually. That's over on our side. Yep, because I have a friend dude, that's all she does. She will drink pickle juice, like she'll eat the pickles and then have the jar right up there, going right back at it as well.
Yeah.
So it is a thing. It's just I think to me that's too much. Like my whole mouth would just pucker up and tighten up. I couldn't do it. You know, that's a little bit too much for me.
Understandable, yeah.
So, since we're on foods, this is kind of getting off the New Year's traditions and whatnot, but I looked up Russian pizza because I love pizza. It's like my whole life, essentially.
I can
have
get
a-
behind that as well.
Okay. I have a pizza tattoo, blah, blah, blah. I have pizza stuff all over this house. When I looked up Russian pizza, a specific pizza kept popping up. And I don't know how to pronounce this properly. I know zero Russian. So hopefully I get this sort of correct and you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
It's either like mukba or makba pizza.
Hmm. Mm,
I'll pull it up here. It's basically, I think it said it had like 4 different types of fish on it.
4 different types of fish. That's weird.
Yeah, it's named after Moscow, like loosely. So I was like, all right,
Yeah,
well, this guy's
possibly.
originally from there, so he might know it. Yeah, I'm about to pull it up here. Let's see.
But so far, I must say, oh, yeah,
It's
that's
got-
weird.
Yeah.
But I can definitely say I never tasted that. They did absolutely dump everything that could be considered like a Russian recipe in the pizza. I can see that already.
Really?
But we usually have here more traditional ways of pizza, where
Like
like
tell me
every
about
pizza place here has margarita,
that. Okay. Yep.
and
Yep.
every pizza place here has I think it's called 4 cheese here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
for
got
cheese.
to, man. Yes. If you're a pizzeria and you can't make a decent cheese pizza, get out of the business.
Yeah,
Just
that's
stop.
true.
You know, I did a recent episode with a individual from Brazil and down in Sao Paulo. And that episode's out. And in Sao Paulo, they have like, I think it's 6,000 pizzerias, 6,000 plus
Wow.
pizzerias in a city. I'm like, I got to travel there just for pizza, right? And he said anytime he tries a new place, he'll get just a regular cheese. And if they don't do that right, there's no point, man. Doesn't matter what else you got. If you can't do a simple cheese correct, stop.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But I must brag a little. During the
Go ahead.
release of Cyberpunk 2077, we
Oh,
had
God.
a place who had the special promo Cyberpunk 2077 pizza.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the problem is I couldn't taste it. My friend was lucky. He said like, meh, regular pizza, but with a little bit of punch. He couldn't even say what
Yeah.
kind of punch is that. But I wasn't lucky when I called them. They're like, nope, we're fresh out of that. I'm like,
I'm gonna see
damn.
if I'm gonna see if I can pull that up.
It was made by Dodo Pizza.
Okay.
Totally not sponsored.
Unless you want to. We all love pizza here. Wanna
Yes,
sponsor
please
us.
call me Dodo.
Dodo Pizza Russia. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cyberpunk.
And-
That's crazy. So, okay, I didn't want to get into it. Well, I didn't also plan on it. You guys, have you played Cyberpunk? Have
Yeah.
you played that game?
Yep.
How do you
I
like
must
it?
admit, it's it's not very good on my PC with my GPU that allows me to have, I think, barely 20 FPS during the fights.
Yeah. That's cool.
Uh,
That's their box apparently.
Yeah, that was
That's
the
cool,
box.
dude.
That was amazing. I
Night
loved it.
City. Oh, dude, you should at least like try and get the box. I would hang that box up, man. That's a cool ass box.
Man,
That's cool.
I should have got you one. Should have got you one.
I would
really.
have loved it. I would have loved it. Oh,
I
they're
didn't
buying,
know that.
right? They're selling it on eBay.
Oh, seriously? Wow.
New limited collectible pizza box, Dodo Pizza Cyberpunk for $30. That ain't bad. That is not bad. $30 US with some stickers, Cyberpunk stickers. That ain't bad,
Yep.
man. I might have to
you
do
gotta
that,
have it.
dude. I might have to do that. That is cool.
Just imagine how this thing is gonna look.
I'm wondering though, if did Cyberpunk okay that? Did CD Projekt Red, like, are they going to get sued? I don't know.
Yeah, they will be sued, but they will be sued for disinformation of the investors. They,
Yeah.
to put it in a better words, they were lying to the investors about the state of the game. They're not going to get sued about
which
the
seems
state
fair.
of the game.
Which seems fair. I mean, they do seem to have done some tricky things, like not allowing the console versions to get reviewed, only the PC versions.
That's
It
also
is
true, but I would rather say I kind of cannot blame it everything on CD Projekt Red because releasing on the
Right.
PC, that's just CD Projekt Red. Nobody is monitoring their way. Nobody is looking at how is the quality. But releasing on the consoles, you usually have two corporations doing the stuff. This corporation that releases the game and the corporation that owns the console. And
Right.
if the Sony and Microsoft looked at that and said like, no, it seems to be playable, it's fine. They had to watch the metrics, they had to look at it, they had to admit that this is fine to be released. Or otherwise, I don't know. Are we admitting that Sony and Microsoft has like zero censorship or regulations on their platforms? Like you can just release Life of a Black Tiger over and over again over the PlayStation
Right?
Store.
Right? That is a horrible game.
Exactly,
That is a
and
piece of shit game.
and
It's
it was
still there.
old. They
Yeah.
got ported to PS5. I think the more polygons, like 2 more.
Two. Oh man. Yeah, it like I haven't played it. I'm planning on playing it whenever they get it tackled and fixed a lot of things because I have a PS5 and but I
nice.
can't, unless I get the physical edition, I can't, they took it off the store. But my friend played it. He has it on his PC and from the story is great. He loves the story.
Yeah.
It's just the glitches, but that's I'm not like defending CD Projekt Red because I do think I don't think they should have released it for the PS4 and regular Xbox anyways. Like that game's too advanced to even run on those consoles on
That's true.
previous gen. So I think they should have nixed that altogether. But also it's like the whole thing of every time they delayed it a little bit, they got death threats to developers got death threats and whatnot, and so now they finally release it, and you're still mad. Like it's a like what come on, like if you're not gonna get pissed at them for delaying it because they wanted to give the best that they could.
But it was like
something.
damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Exactly. You can't get pissed off when they released it when you were pissed off when they didn't. You can't have it both
true.
ways.
I was actually ready to wait whenever the time they wanted, but I was with them since Witcher 1. I know how buggy the
really?
release are. Witcher 1 actually had a quite interesting history with patches. Their
Really?
final ultimate patch for Witcher 1 was it was the patch that included some bug fixes, and it included removal of the DRM that was on the disc. They were just blatantly called it no CD, and you downloaded it as the official patch by CD Projekt. You're like, okay, I'm downloading no CD from the official developer and publisher. The world is crazy.
All right. Like I never even probably like most people, I hadn't even heard of CD until Witcher 3.
Yeah,
But,
it was their big hit.
That was the big thing that put them on the map. And I think another thing that it's not their fault either. No game can live up to the hype that Cyberpunk had. It's impossible.
That's true.
That game had so much hype about it. It was impossible for any game to make everybody happy. If you got that much going on behind you, that's not possible.
Yeah, that's also true. But I must admit, I think the only game I can use as an example that lived up to all the hype it had, it was Doom Eternal.
Really?
They were hyping pretty much everything up. Like, you wanted more monsters, we got you more monsters. You wanted best fights, we got you best fights. You wanted even better fights than the best fights, we got you even that. And it was amazing. It was glorious. I think one of my friends just gifted it to me on my birthday. I was like, yeah, baby.
Yeah, I've never played it. It looks gorgeous, and it looks like I'm just not a first-person shooter guy for one, so it's not my cup of tea. But it looks badass. The soundtrack is awesome, and yeah,
Oh,
who
yeah.
doesn't like cutting up demons and shit like that? That's awesome. That looks cool as shit. So let's get back to Russia.
Yeah, let's get back to Russia.
And people are wondering like, this is not a video game channel. What is he doing? I play him every now
Come
and then,
on.
people. It's
I'm
my
all into
show.
video games, and I can
Right.
explain to your people. Did you know that Russians have video games? And no, it's not the Polish video games, and no, it's not the Ukrainian video games you might have heard of, which include, by the way, Stalker and Metro series. Those are Ukrainian.
You talking about Metroid?
Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. Oh,
Never
and
heard
it's usually about the first-person shooters, just
so
like
do I.
Stalker. It's
I've
not
heard
your
of
cup of tea.
Stalker. I've heard of Stalker only because I watched a video this morning about the next one coming out. I think it's Stalker.
Oh,
3.
yeah.
I don't know. Game
They're
Works.
still preparing to release Stalker 2, and they were hyping up that Stalker 2 is going out to release soon, this year even. But I'm sure they're going to be delaying it even further, because if the same studio in Ukraine develops Stalker 2, and they do develop, it's going to be so buggy. It's going to
Right.
be just unplayable, or maybe even unfinishable at this year. They will be delaying it.
Well, I was talking with my wife after this whole cyberpunk ordeal. I was thinking probably like every developer is gonna have to look at that and realize that we can't be releasing shit that's not ready. Like I don't remember a game that's come out where the publisher like Sony decided to take it off the one of the biggest hype games of all time decided, all right, we're just gonna take this off the store until they figure it out. If they can do that with such a big title like that, then little bitty games that are buggy as well, because people are getting let's be honest, people are getting tired of a game coming out and then they fix it later. They send out a patch. That's getting aggravating, man.
But that's new normal.
Exactly, but it shouldn't be the case. It's
Shouldn't
new
it?
normal. I agree, but Cyberpunk did it in a way that I think every developer's gonna have to step back and be like, "Yo, we gotta get this shit right the first time before we put this out." And if that means, more delays across the board from whoop-de-doo, like my life isn't dependent upon any game. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm a get that developer. I want to play me some something. Like, dude, it's never that serious. No game is worth.
That's because you're a man of culture. You know a lot about of cultures of the different countries, and you're like, you know what? Video games is just a corner of the culture. It's not the
Disrespect,
whole
man.
culture.
It's not, man. It's
Exactly.
never that serious. Never that serious. But
It's like movies, but video games.
very true. Yeah. No movie. Don't take shit that serious, man. In
That's
life,
true.
in life in general, do not take shit that serious. Ever.
Words to live by.
I believe that's how I live my life, man. I live a pretty damn stress-free life because I don't take a lot serious. As long as it don't interfere with me or my family, fuck it. Who cares?
True.
That's how it should be. So St. Petersburg, you've been there for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that you've been to some of those museums, because St. Petersburg is filled with a whole bunch of them. You guys, wow. One, you have the second largest museum in the whole world.
Oh yeah.
And just I think you have a butterfly museum. You have a museum of sound. You have a military medical museum.
That's
a lot of museums. So tell me about some of the museums you have been to.
Okay, we have quite a lot of museums here that were palaces at some point. Like
Okay.
the majority of the museums here were palaces or mansions, but they're
All
still
right.
called palaces. So the thing is, the major museum, the Hermitage,
Right.
that's the main palace in the Russian Empire. That was the main palace in the Russian Empire.
Hmm.
That is actually the most gorgeous museum I've ever been to. And I must admit that I had to go there 3 times because every time we started from some different place in the museum.
Hmm.
And once we got to the end, I could not remember a lot of stuff there. Like
Just
half
so
of the
much.
trip in there was just me blanking out and just admiring everything without even remembering, without even registering it with my brain.
Right.
It's just too
Right.
much. And they don't have everything just stated there in the rooms. They have a lot of stuff hidden somewhere in the warehouses. Well, it's not the regular warehouse. It's specialized museum warehouses.
Right.
But they don't have everything cataloged, and some places, some things in these warehouses, they just find it and they can't understand what the hell is that. I think it was
Really?
2 or 3 years ago when they found some kind of Japanese sword, very exquisite Japanese sword, and nobody was able to say what kind of sword is that. So naturally, they just contacted Japanese embassy, asking like, "Yo, guys, what kind of sword is that? We just found it lying here somewhere." Japanese were just astonished because that was the sword of the Emperor of Japan. They were,
No.
dude, how did you get that? Like, okay, we have to find it. And they actually found out the story behind that. The story was that I think the final Russian emperor went to Japan, and
Yeah.
one Japanese, I can't call it the policeman, but the police substitute decided to attack this guy. But that was a Russian emperor. So technically, he was under the protection of the emperor himself. And being unable to protect your own guest, that's a disgrace.
Yes.
And the emperor was like, wow, that's a seppuku time. I'm not gonna do that.
Uh-oh.
How
Yeah.
about I give you my personal sword? Our emperor
it
was like,
this-
okay, that's deal. Yep.
Is it this one I have pulled up? Do you know?
Yeah, I think that was the one. And the emperor was like, okay, deal for me. And he
Right.
just dumped it somewhere in his palace. When the revolution came, they were just keeping that sword. Like, yeah, it looks like exquisite sword. It's okay. We still have recordings. We will catalog it eventually.
Right.
And everybody forgot about it until several years ago, when they just
That-
remembered it and like, yo, what kind of sword is that?
that's some. When you have that much shit, you kind of forget. Yeah, because there was one of the articles I was looking into about the Hermitage Museum. Is one that's so big, it has so many artifacts and pieces of art that if you were to visit it 8 hours a day, and you
Mhm.
looked at every piece for 1 minute, 8 hours a day, it would take you about 25 years to see everything it has to offer.
That is also true.
That is
But
for
some
those
things
that are
you can just-
listening.
Observe like several seconds of picture. Yeah, nice. Let's go further.
Yeah. So it must have a shit ton of stuff. If it would take 25 years to see
Yeah.
about everything it's got. So yeah, I'm sure they got other stuff they just haven't found yet. That when they ever come across, like, oh shit, what is this? You know, that's wild though. That's wild. So did Japan let you guys keep it?
Yeah, sure, because it was the honorable gift. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
we get to keep it, but they got to scan it all over the place and
Mhm.
just take a look at it and take a proper good pictures of that.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm sure they're glad to have something of that back,
Yeah,
in the
that's true.
world to for people around to admire and look at too. So that's cool. Yeah, that's
It's
really
like that
cool.
sword they considered lost in ages
Right?
suddenly emerges in Russia. Like, yo, what's that? We have a
Yeah.
pointy stick.
That's cool.
But
They
I
were to
must
close
say,
that.
that's the most impressive museum. But I must say, one museum I still remember the best. It was the very first museum in St. Petersburg.
Mhm.
And of course, it was the very first museum in Russia. It was
And
just
which one's that?
the museum that tried to loosely catalog every nation that lived in Russian Empire.
Mm-hmm.
It is located near the Russian Museum. That's just the name of it,
Oh,
the Russian Museum. It looks gorgeous, and the Russian Museum tried already twice to brutally take over that museum, but they could not do that. Like the brutal takeover was like, guys, you cannot pay for this place. We are ready to
Oh.
take you and pay for you. You just will become the part of the Russian Museum. First time it happened sometimes in 30s
Mm-hmm.
or maybe 40s. Whatever, it was when Stalin was in place, and Stalin personally said, no, this museum stays. So that museum stayed throughout the whole Soviet Union. The next try was happening when Soviet Union disassembled and became Russia.
Mhm.
Russian Museum, already a powerful organization, came again, said, guys, we can arrange a deal. You will just have to be us.
Right.
Then again, they came to some kind of government. I can't remember what exactly was the part of the government that they came to. And they said, no, we want to be the first museum. We have the statement of the emperor who instated the museum. We have the statement of the Stalin who said that it's not the Russian museum. What the hell, guys? We are not going to be a Russian museum now. People
Mhm.
around the government saw that and thought, like, yeah, that wouldn't be fine. So this museum is still on its own in the middle of a gathering of buildings that belong to Russian Museum. This part does not belong to the Russian Museum.
So it was like, fuck you, we're doing our own thing.
Exactly. That's why I
That's-
remember that.
Hey, that's some gangster shit right there. Like, nah, man, we're gonna do our own thing. We don't care. You fine. You go over there. You do your thing. We're gonna do ours. That's cool.
Yeah, like you big, you own literally half of the St. Petersburg right now, but we're fine. We'll deal here.
Right. I got it pulled up, and it's the one that starts with a K, correct?
Quite possibly, yeah.
How do you
It's-
pronounce that?
Краеведческий,
Really?
maybe.
Well, I'm gonna pull it up here. Warning for those who are watching. I got up images, and it's some of this stuff is pretty graphic. So, whoopsie. If you have
Oh, yeah.
weak stomachs, turn away, I guess.
Oh, let me see. Oh no, it's Kunstkamera. That one is Kunstkamera.
Is that the one you're talking about, or no?
No, it's the other one. That was the one that nobody was interested in, because
Really?
that is literally a thing that was instated by Peter the First,
That looks
the
cool
first
shit to
emperor.
me. That's awesome,
That's so weird.
right?
It was just the collection of weirdness, but that was not technically the museum. It was his personal collection in the middle of the city.
Okay, now that when you word it like that, that is really his personal collection. That is some.
Yeah.
Who collects this shit? If it's like that's cool though. A little samurai.
Yeah, but it was like Peter the First personal collection of oddities and weirdos. He was kind of weirdo.
Whoa.
And I was
that-
talking about I think it's called a Russian Ethnical Museum. That was available for regular people. Like you cannot go to emperor's personal collection and just
Right.
observe it if you're a regular person. Because, of course, you can't. But the museum, when you just go in, say, like, yo, I'm a regular Joe or Ivan, have my money, I want to watch that. That was,
Right.
I think, the Ethnical Museum. That one is the badass museum.
What was the name you thought it was?
I think it was. I may be quite wrong. It could be Kraevechesky, but
Can you
it's
try
not
and
really.
spell that for me?
One moment.
Because you guys have a lot of museums. I want to make
Yeah,
sure I get
that's
the right
true.
one.
I think I'll throw you the link
Okay, we can do
if
that.
I find it. Yeah, I think I can find it. We also, by the way, have the Museum of Fabergé.
Oh,
Fabergé,
the egg stuff.
yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
famous dude who made eggs.
Yep, I see that. I'm
But
looking at that one.
That dude made everything. He literally made everything. He was so bold.
Hmm.
He came to Russian emperors and said, like, you know, the emperor crown you have, and the scepter, and all kinds of emperor stuff that you have.
Right.
I will take it. I want to study those and make the miniature copies of those. And he was allowed to do that.
You got a lot of pull if you can do that.
Yeah.
You got a lot of pull. I got that one pulled up now. The Fabergé Museum.
Oh, it was the Russian Museum of Ethnography.
Ethnography.
English is not easy. Why is that easy?
So some of us would say the same about Russia.
That's absolutely nightmare to say in Russian too. There you go, the wiki article about that.
Let's see what we got. Yeah. Where'd you
It's
send
not
that to?
Reddit.
Okay.
It's not a lot to observe there, but it was the first museum that was originated to allow regular people to know something about Russia. Like, it included several cultures, several
Mhm.
cultural costumes.
Okay.
Like the
I got it
northern
now.
people had their costumes represented there. The southerners had that represented there.
All right. Got some costumes and whatnot.
Yeah. It was like how everything in Russia survives.
Right. Yeah, man. One thing I can say about Russia with my little knowledge of Russia, some hardy ass people. I mean, it is from what we hear here in the States is one, it's like cold as shit all the time. So to survive over there, as some tough ass people, man. I mean,
But yeah,
like,
it's always older than in the United States.
yeah, because I joke about like Russia. That's a whole different breed of human. That's a different breed, man. You guys are a different breed, tougher than most other people, just for the living conditions and coldness. Because I live in the South, right? So like right now,
Yeah.
it's probably say 50. I don't know what because we're America. We do everything different.
Yeah, we do everything in Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Let's see. So it's 50 Fahrenheit was 50 degrees Fahrenheit to meter or to Celsius meters. What am I talking about? 10. So it's probably like 10 degrees Celsius out here right now, which is for this time of day, it's not bad. But
That's fine.
usually we have like 80 to 90 degree weather.
That's almost like summer here.
Yeah, which is like 26 Celsius for over there. At times it gets like 100, which ain't too bad. Well, it is. It's horrible because I'm a redhead, so I hate it.
Oh, come
But
on.
I can't stand it, dude. Me and the sun, we are not friends. We are mortal enemies to the day I die, or it kills me. I don't know.
Or maybe you become a vampire and you finally become an enemy to the sun.
I mean, like, I like darkness enough. I might be. I just don't know it. Huh?
You're halfway there.
Halfway there, man. I don't like garlic though, so well, that just leans it into one. Yeah, I'm a vampire. I said it. Hey, sweetie, you're married to a vampire. She laughed. So
She doesn't know yet.
she doesn't know yet at all. But so you have a lot of museums. You have a lot of everything. What is for St. Petersburg besides museums? What is, in your opinion, the coolest thing there?
The coolest
not a
thing
museum.
about this city,
Yes,
apart
that's
from
not a
museum,
museum.
is
Yes.
that the whole Russian rock and Russian metal and all kinds of non-pop Russian music originated from here.
Hold up. Now you just piqued my interest.
Yeah.
So explain, because I Googled Russian metal and Russian metal bands.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize any of the names. So if you
Sure.
can enlighten me on some good work, I would love that.
Oh, dude, that's tough. The most famous we have here are two bands, really.
Mm-hmm.
One is the weird band that had just a glorious singer. They had him. Now they're just different projects, and
Right.
I don't know what happened to them. They are called Aria. And they had glorious singer, and they were mostly doing the copycat stuff. They copied a lot of things that Iron Maiden did. They copied
Right.
some stuff that AC/DC did. They never had their own style, I must say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they had a really good singer. And they were mostly unknown everywhere because they had some place on the radios.
Okay.
And another very famous band there, they were called the Black Obelisk. They are more underground. It's kind of hard to understand what the singer is saying with all the growl and overloaded guitars.
Right.
But that's the usual stuff, you know. But they are famous because they were doing that with the most quality at that time.
Okay.
Those are two more important. If you want to have more of the rock side, not a metal side, we usually don't have a lot of metal. Like, we do have some metal now,
Right.
like the modern bands. One of my recent discoveries is called Tardigrade Inferno. They do
Okay.
the most hilarious metal stuff ever, and they sing in English, so you don't need
Okay.
to understand Russian to laugh at the texts.
All right.
And the other one, you need to have Russian understanding to understand that. But it's kind of hard to translate those, so I won't.
Hey, that's fine. I'm looking at some. I just looked at the Aria
Yeah.
and some other ones. So I'm gonna check out these after we're done here, and I will let you know.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I love to do, if it's a country, I try to find a metal band or, like you said, a rock band that I enjoy from that country. And Russia's just, for as big as it is, it doesn't, at least, again, one that I found yet. You know, like I have a favorite Japanese metal band right now. Oh shit. I could see it in my head right now.
I hope it's baby metal.
It's not. Oh God, no. Why would it be that?
it.
No, they're a Japanese metal band that's been around since like the 80s, and it's cool as shit.
Oh, those. Damn.
Yeah,
I might have heard those, but I can't remember.
they made
Or
it
the-
big not too long ago with they had a song Ninja Isu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but Ninja and Isu, I'm about to pull those up for you. They are really cool. Like if you like 80s sounds, like 80s
Yes, I do.
metal, they are
Absolutely love it.
absolutely
Thanks.
amazing. Oh yes, no problem, man. They are these guys right here. 3 old Japanese guys.
Yeah.
Cool as shit. They sound amazing.
I remember YouTube advised me. I think it was bloody hell, no, I can't remember the exact song,
Heartless
but
Scat.
Quite possibly it was that.
That's how I found them. YouTube recommended Heartless Scat, and I was like, what the heck is
Quite
this?
possibly YouTube just recommended everybody that.
Oh man, it's so good though. And then I listened to some of their older stuff. Amazing. And then like I looked into it, and it was like there are Japanese metal from the 80s. I was like, hell yeah, they still around? 3 old Japanese dudes doing that shit? I gotta listen to them.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I love looking up different metal bands, because for the most part, when you think of metal, you either think of America or like Finland, Norway, you know, for like
Norway,
black
especially if
metal.
you think of black metal.
Yeah, sadly, I don't know if you know, we lost Alexi from Children of Bodom just yesterday.
Oh
Yesterday or
no.
2 days ago. Yeah,
I did know that.
lead singer and frontman of Children of Bodom passed away. So that
That's sad.
sucks. That yeah. Yeah.
Okay, 2021 already sucks.
Right? Hell yeah, it does, man. Shit. So yeah, thank you for those. I'm gonna check out those 3, and if I forget, I'll just hit you up to try and remember the names.
Yeah,
Aria
sure.
And the other, and something Tardigrade or something like that. I remember.
Yeah, Tardigrade Inferno. If you want more of a punkish stuff, like the absolute punk stuff, it's called The Kin and the Jester. The band was called The Kin and the Jester. The trouble is, they had the lead singer who was so charismatic and so punk looking. You would not believe it. But he's already passed away, and it was some time ago. So they don't have any new stuff, but the older stuff you might like it.
Oh wow, I got it pulled up. Okay, yep.
Yeah,
That's the
those
lead
are
singer.
amazing guys. They have the spirit, they have the drive, they have everything. Yeah.
Yeah, when you think of punk, that's the type of look you think about. Definitely.
Precisely.
That is it.
It was cool as hell.
That is it, man. How do you pronounce that in Russian? What is that?
Король
Korol-
и Шут.
Korol и Shut?
Yep.
Hell yeah,
Precisely like that.
I'm learning Russian. I sent out a question to some of the guys who, like, I know watch the show about some questions to ask you
Sure.
about Russia, and one of them was the language. One was like, how easy is it to learn? And I told him, I was like, I can answer you right now, it's not that easy. At least from what I've heard. Yeah, from what I've heard, Russian is one of the most difficult languages to learn. But it does. It sounds so cool.
And there is a perk if you learn any one of the Slav languages, you kind of can understand and kind of can communicate with any other people from the Slav language group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I have an old episode with an individual from Serbia, and we pulled up some of the languages, and alphabetically, they look pretty identical. Mm-hmm. They're very, very similar in how it's written and probably sounding as well. I'm not sure because, you know, for my show, we spoke English.
For sure.
But yeah, I think she said that as well, that kind of if you were to know Serbia, you would sort of be able to understand Russian and so on, you know, back and forth. Yeah. Probably similar. There was another country I spoke to that said the same, that is blanking on me right now. So sorry if you're watching, my bad.
I'm sure they understand.
I would hope so. I talk to a lot of people, man. Y'all know this. Y'all know this.
Of course.
So we've done Russian, food, a good chunk of Russian food, I believe.
Well, some chunk of Russian food.
Say what?
Well, because as you mentioned earlier, Russia is way too big to have one
Huge.
kind of Russian food.
Very
So
true.
the thing I told you about was considering the like mostly western part of Russia. In the eastern parts, they have it way differently. And
Okay.
I would even say in the south, they have it way differently.
Right.
Like in the south, they have quite a lot of fish.
Mhm.
We're big fans of southern fish. We don't have as much fish as they have it in the south. Near the Black Sea or Caspian Sea, places like those,
Right.
they just live off of the fish and some other stuff.
Mhm.
But mostly it's just all kinds of black caviar.
Ugh.
And oh, come on, it's fine.
I don't do vegetables and seafood. That's a no-go for me, man. Can't do it.
Yeah, you might not like that in the eastern part where they have a lot of seafood and a lot of caviar, but it's the red caviar now,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Well-
actually quite interesting. It's
How so?
kind of, well, you see, the red caviar is normally harvested somewhere around the eastern part of Russia, and you
Okay.
have to go through the whole continent to deliver it to the western part. So when you get it delivered, the caviar price is already way up higher than it should be.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That makes sense. But that's why I shouldn't eat it, because it's expensive. It's expensive and it probably tastes like crap. I don't know.
No, it tastes heavenly, but if you don't like seafoods, you wouldn't like it.
No, sir. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. Especially caviar. Caviar reminds me of like oysters, and it just looks like a bunch of boogers. Like oysters are just, that's a big old booger of the sea, in my opinion. And nope.
With that, I would agree. We don't eat that
Right?
here.
Yeah. Ugh.
We're not France.
Right, exactly. Exactly. This is Russia and America here. We don't do oysters. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we take the fish and eat it raw.
Oh God.
Oh wait, that's Japan.
Oh man. So, have you traveled outside of Russia?
Yes, several countries. I can't say that was really outside of Russia. We have been to Belarus. Very
Okay.
nice place, I must say. I don't know about what the hell is happening there right now. I just know that when you come to Belarus, it looks cozy. It looks like provincial town everywhere, even in the capital. It looks like
Right.
a really provincial town. Very sleepy, very not in a hurry,
Yeah.
and they have quite a great vistas. You just go out of the town, you see the fields with some kind of wheat or maybe cows or maybe horses. It's just really beautiful.
Right.
But I wouldn't consider that to be outside of the country precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the country, I have been to Bulgaria. I did not like that.
Okay.
I absolutely did not like that place. It was
Why is
way
that?
earlier than I could travel alone, and I was
Oh,
there
okay.
alone.
Okay.
So your mileage may vary, and it quite probably will vary.
Mm-hmm.
Then I visited for a short time. I visited Berlin.
Okay.
That was just like a business trip.
Right.
I couldn't see a lot of stuff. I have been several times to Israel.
Okay.
Nice country. Can't say anything else about it. Oh, wait, I can. I remember, till this day, I remember in Jerusalem, there is never, ever anybody going to tell you to take any turn to the right or to the left. If you see the road that goes like 90 degrees to the right, the local will tell you, go straight ahead. You're like, I can't go straight ahead. There is a road that takes turns. Yes, that means straight ahead. You dumb. Like, okay,
Ah.
I understand that. That was my revelation in Jerusalem.
Gotcha. I mean, it's the same road, so in that
Yeah,
sense, yeah, I guess go straight.
yeah, but that's
Makes a
the
little bit
problem
of
when
sense.
you have 3 roads ahead of you. Neither of them go straight ahead, but you were told to go straight ahead, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, nice.
I got you.
That's the main memory I got.
Sometimes it's funny how sometimes a small, simple thing will like stick to you forever. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes, like you could tell other people be like, but yeah, okay. But for you, like it, for some reason, it just hits, you know, and it sticks with you. So in your travels, then have you? I'm sure there's been some like misunderstandings about Russia that you've come across. And again, I don't want to get political at all in this. I hate doing that shit.
Yeah,
But
I don't like it either.
are there some misrepresentations and misunderstandings about Russia that you've come across that you would like to like clear?
You know what? I did not encounter those.
Okay.
Usually, when I was in Berlin,
Mhm.
I cannot tell like everybody like, yeah, that was me being believable and so on. But even in Berlin, when I just came up to some person and started talking in a polite, quiet voice, not shouting in Russian on the top of my lungs, where is the pub?
Right.
I got all kinds of responses like in a usual cultural manner.
Mhm.
I can't say I heard a lot of misrepresentations in those countries I've been to.
Mhm.
Like in Israel, a lot of people are from Russia. They just know what to do there. They
Right.
had some business there. They might even have the business right now, so they actually know what's going on.
Mhm.
When I've been to Bulgaria, they also know what the stuff is going on there. When I came to Czechia, they actually had some misrepresentations, but they were fellow Slavs. And the misrepresentations were like, yo, your Russians are just drunks on the north. Like, what? We're drunks on the south. Cheers.
Right.
I don't know. That was at least funny for me.
No, yeah, I mean, hell, it made me laugh right there. Yeah. What I want to
So
ask.
if you have some misrepresentations you want me to debunk or just confirm, like, yep, we're like that, you can go ahead.
I don't think I can know of any off the top of my head. I'm sure I could figure some out, and I'll let you know.
I think I know already one.
What's
The Russian food is usually looks disgusting and smells disgusting. And that's true.
That's true.
But it's tasty.
Well, I know for me, you know, like I said, I don't like seafood or vegetables, so a lot of other foods just look bad to me. It's not like a specific country in general. Like you mentioned, you know, seafood earlier with Japan. Like I've had an episode with a lady from Japan, and yeah, overall I wouldn't do it, but thankfully they have McDonald's and KFC and Pizza Hut, so I know I'll make it over there. But in terms of cultural, or original recipes in Japan, probably couldn't do it, man. Probably, I mean, besides ramen, like I could do noodles all day because that's whatever. But yeah, seafood, they eat octopus over there, and
octopus are tasty.
Wouldn't know, and I don't ever plan on knowing.
Okay.
Not my thing.
Oh yeah, quite possibly it's here it's not your thing as well. That's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. It's more for you guys, man. If you like it, it's more for you then. That's all it is. It's the best way to think about it. More octopus.
More pickles for me.
Exactly. I do want to ask though, are you at all into MMA?
No, not really.
Okay.
I tried to get into that kind of stuff, but the trouble was, when you try to get in some kind of fandom, and you have to remember quite a lot of names, and you're like, what the hell? Why do they keep adding up all the names? I did not remember the last ones, and
Yeah.
that's how I felt about MMA. Like, okay, I remember these guys. Why even 3 more there? Oh no.
That makes me laugh because I was gonna ask, and I'm sure you probably do know this name, Khabib. You know, he's from Dagestan, if I remember correctly. Is that part of
Habib,
Russia?
Nurmagomedov, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Is that
Yeah.
in Russia, or is that like a just outside of Russia?
Uh,
Dagestan.
I think it's outside of Russia, but it's in a close connection to Russia.
Right. Yeah, because
Like,
I know anytime they speak of him, they mention Russian, but they also clarified he's from Dagestan. But yeah,
yeah,
that's why I was wanted to ask, because he's arguably one of the biggest, even though he recently retired, he's one of the biggest
yeah,
stars in the sport right now. And
it's really big here.
I would imagine so. I would imagine so. Because when you said, they'll mention one name and you're trying to remember that name, but then they'll mention 3 other names. The reason I laugh is because now that he's hit it big, there's a flock of Russian fighters coming through the UFC right now, and even Bellator, that are just knocking people out. You could tell, like, so he's going to be big, they're going to be big, and you kind of know they're from Russia because their names all are kind of similar. Like, I think his brother just signed with Bellator. There's this new guy. I'm not even going to say the name because I'm not even going to attempt it. But I think he's from somewhere over in Russia. There's a huge influx. And for me, that just solidifies, I think I wouldn't even say it's a cultural misrepresentation. I think it's an absolute fact. Russians are built differently. They are built differently, whether it's upbringing, the weather, whatever it is. That is a different breed of humans. You guys are sturdy people. Hardy, sturdy people, in my opinion.
Just a friendly advice. Don't tell people from Dagestan that they're Russians.
I can see that.
Like, Dagestan is technically a part of Russian Federation, but it's the whole republic of its own.
Right.
So it's not like particularly the state where the federal government can dictate something to them, but the federal government can assign some budget to them or take some budget from them. It's like that. It's kind of complicated, but we don't have the border. That's the important part.
Well, if anyone from Dagestan listens, I mean no offense. I mean no offense at all. But overall, Russians that's a different type of human being, in my opinion. That is, anytime Russia's brought up, I'm like, they're different, man. They're a different breed of human. That's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level, in my opinion. And in good ways, like hardy ass, sturdy people that don't take no shit from nobody. And we
actually take a lot from everybody. Like, at some point, the whole cultural era was Russia taking everything from Europe, like absolutely everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, everything.
Well, I'm sure if you ask a certain amount of people, and I could even to an extent agree, again, not to get too political, that's kind of what America does. We kind of take everything and switch it up and make it our own and say fuck you to whoever did it in the first place. But hey,
then attach ego to that. No offense to Americans.
That's funny. Take it, slap an eagle on it. It's America now. Yeah, ugh, whatever.
It's not the same. It's more free.
Oh man, Mr. Duck, Angry Ducky man. I've enjoyed this, man. This has been fun. I wasn't sure how this was gonna go. One being the first episode of the year, being at Russia. I've enjoyed my time, man. I really had a good time with talking with you. Is there anything you would like to ask me before we go?
Oh,
Anything
I don't
about
know.
America or whatever?
I don't know. I have quite several people I know from the United States, from different parts of the United States, from Southerners, from Northerners.
Right.
I kind of know some stuff that happens around your places.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just still planning the tour to visit all the memorable places and probably eat a lot of food during that.
We do got that. We got that. We got plenty of that, man. That's for sure. All the barbecue, you gotta try all the barbecue spots.
Yeah, and I
can definitely recommend some barbecue spots for you. If you ever need that, I can recommend some top barbecue spots. Yes.
I might need that.
I got you there, man. Don't worry. And some good American metal. I can recommend some good old American metal. Same time.
I'm recently, as I think the half of the internet, I'm recently got into the Swedish metal with Sabaton.
Oh yeah, they're good. Yep.
Yeah, it's
very,
like
very good.
They're playing the music that is kind of suitable for Warhammer 40k.
Right? Yeah. Like I don't even know that. I know of that game, but they do have like go to war metal. You know,
Yeah,
like that's the
exactly.
shit you play on the battlefield. If you're going to war, you play some Sabaton for sure. That's what they do, man.
And it resonates with stuff happening here. Not that we're going to war, just at some point I saw, I think it was a tweet. Somebody posted a tweet like, when you look at what is happening in Russia right now, it's like Warhammer 40k cosplayers with an unlimited budget.
Oh shit. Okay.
That happened when somebody opened the cathedral where instead of saints and stuff, the ceiling and some walls were painted with various kinds of war machines, like rockets, airplanes, and stuff like that. And that definitely looked bizarre. That was absolutely like out of this world. And when somebody pointed that out and said, that looks like a Warhammer 40k cosplay, I was like, damn, they're right. We're doing that.
All right. Okay. So I think my wife is signaling that it's time for her to go take a nap because she's got to work tomorrow night. Am I correct in that, sweetie? Yeah. Yeah. So, Mr. AngryDuck, I know. Did you say you had a podcast?
Yeah, it's a podcast. It's a podcast about video games. It's called Duck in Games. You can find it anywhere, even on iTunes, even on Yandex, and it's a part of the Geeks Rising network.
All right. Well, that's awesome. I was kind of wondering. Yeah, like when we started this, we went pretty heavy into video games. That makes sense. Then it all comes together. So, Mr.
Really
Angry
games.
Hey, I'm probably about to go play it as soon as we get done here. My wife's gonna take a nap, and I'm gonna go play Assassin's Creed Valhalla for sure.
Nice.
But like you have the last word. You just kind of mentioned about your podcast. But if you have anything else going on you'd like to say, floor is yours, sir.
Oh, about anything else? Well, I also do Twitch streams, but I would rather say that thank you, Mr. For I know you're called Red Ramblings. Your podcast thing is called Red Rambling, but I cannot call you Red.
That's what everyone calls me, besides my wife.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Red, for having me here. Thank you for giving me the stage. Thank you, the audience, for listening to this point.
Yes.
You are awesome, especially you, Josh. I'm sure somebody named Josh right now is freaking out.
There's a Josh out there. Yeah, he's definitely freaking out. He's wondering what the hell.
How does he know?
Well, Mr. AngryDucky, Mr. Angry, Mr. Duck, Mr. Twitch streamer, thank you very much for coming on. This was fun. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. Hopefully, maybe I can come on yours and talk a little bit about games at some point. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe.
But everyone, have yourself a great day. Mr. AngryDucky, you can have yourself a good day. I'll talk to y'all guys later.